Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Wi-Fi here. I'm going to take you back in time very briefly to a time when not many people played Pokemon competitively. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, it was just picking up. DPPt UU might be one of the stalliest tiers ever. And for some reason, I've been attracted to it like a magnet when looking for random tiers to try to delve my teeth into to get back into Mons. Why did this one just shoot up to the top? I don't know. Let's take a look at this tier list real quick. You got some threats like Alakazam and Absol or whatever. You got to remember this is Gen 4. So let's just look at the stall for a second here. We got Defensive Arcanine. You have Aggron, Blastoise, got Chansey, why not? Claydol, Clefable, Donphan, Hariyama, Hitmontop, Lantern, Milotic, basically walls half the tier, Quillfish, Registeel, Rhyperior, Slowbro, Spiritomb, Steelix, Tangrowth, and then down at the bottom, the ones you're missing, Uxie, Venusaur, Weezing. Holy shit! Safe to say, there are a few wall breakers in this tier, Blaziken being the main one, Azumarill, Sub-Punch obviously being a decent one, Taunt, Ambipom being okay, but the fact of the matter is, this tier was stally as shit, and for some reason, I really wanted to get into it. And I have. There have been a couple tournaments in the NU room where I've gotten battles from random challenges, and I've made a couple teams, and I definitely want to share a few of the battles with you. The less stallier ones, the ones that are only around 35 turns as opposed to 80 turns, are a little bit more YouTube friendly. And the best thing about this being good old-fashioned 4th gen, there's no team preview, there's none of that shit. I even have to refresh the replay every time, just so the teams don't show. Anyway, I lead with an Ambipom as he leads Rotom. I didn't expect a Scarf Rotom, to be completely honest. I maybe expected Trick, Specs, maybe a Will-O-Wisp from a slower variant, as I just go for a Taunt. Unfortunately for him, he misses first turn. That's going to be big later on, as I know I can just U-turn out on the second turn. He's not going to stay in with a taunted Scarf Rotom. I go with the Blaziken. Fire Blast has a shit ton of this Registeel, as unfortunately he's going to T-Wave me. Going to switch out to something. Going to go for a Superpower. This Blaziken, by the way, is max attack, max special attack, pristine wall breaker ability, if you ask me. I do have Thunder Punch, but I don't want to take it. Going to switch in Venusaur. Unfortunately, he A, predicts that, and B, crits me with Ice Beam, which is really upsetting. I'm just going to bank on a Sleep Powder to hit, as I do get it, and then on the switch out, I'm just going to try to get as much HP back as I can, go for some Leech Seeds. Luckily, I do get quite a bit back from this Arcanine. So, it is Defensive Arcanine, I can tell that right away, as I'm just going to be able to switch in Milotic. Milotic does wall about 80% of this bloody tier. Rest Talk Milotic is just not fun to deal with in this tier. I'm going to throw a Toxic out, see what I can catch. Unfortunately, he's not going to reveal any more Mons, as at this point I'm forced to reveal a 5th. I really wouldn't mind some Rocks Up. I'm going to try to get it in very quickly, just get my Rocks Up. It'll wear down the Arcanine. It'll at least wear down his Milotic every time he wants to come in, as I am able to eat the Surf. Sturdy obviously doesn't work the way it does in Gen 5, so he had a chance to kill me there, obviously, with a crit or whatever, but I am able to just chew it, get up my rocks, which is all I really wanted out of Donphan. It wasn't beating Arcanine with Intimidate and Willow. It wasn't beating Scarf Rotom with Willow. It was good for rocks, and that's it. So, luckily, I'm able to come in with Milotic, rest up, and he reveals Ice Beam, and the fact that he showed Sleep Talk means I assume he's Rest Talk, Surf Ice Beam, which means he doesn't have Toxic, which means my Milotic beats his one-on-one. It'll take about 500 turns, but it beats it one-on-one. At this point, Rotom comes in. Scarf, Trick Scarf, so obvious. Please, give me Trick Fodder, Donphan, kill it off now. Your Scarf is gone. The worst you can trick is leftovers. I'm going to go out into Ambipom. And I assume he's going for a Will-O-Wisp, but that just crit the Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw has a high crit ratio. Shadow Claw's on there to hit Miss Magius, but sure, I'll take it. I'm going to taunt the Registeel, don't want Rocks Up on my field, as he is able to predict that quite nicely. And the next turn I'm just going to not predict anything. I'm just going to U-turn out. Nice spammable U-turn. As I'm going to go to Blaziken, predict the Milotic to come in. Going to go for a huge, powerful Thunder Punch, and unfortunately the Arcanine just is chilling here. Even after an Intimidate, look at that, even after an Intimidate from a defensive Arcanine, This thing does 53% with superpower. Can we please have non-Blaze Blaziken back? Or Blaze Blaziken back? Whatever. You know what I was trying to ask for. And I know why it can't happen. But damn, this thing's so much fun to use. Playing 4th Gen UU made me realize how much fun Blaziken is when it is a wall breaker and not a sweeper. Regardless, I miscount sleep turns here like an idiot. And he was able to reveal his 5th and get up rocks. It's a Torterra. Spoilers. And at this point, we're back into this bullshit melodic versus melodic thing, where I'm gonna surf him, he's gonna surf me. We're not really gonna get anywhere. And yeah, this is 4th Gen UU for you. But yeah, back on the topic of Blaziken, the Mon. When getting into a new tier like this, you rely on things you know, and I know Xerxes used it. And I'm like, okay, I stole this random RMT, I literally searched 4th Gen UU RMT, and came up with a Blaziken set. I was kind of interested to use it, and I didn't think the set was that great. I remember Xerxes used a max attack, max special attack one in his 4th Gen send-off series, and just kind of stole that set, rolled with it, and so far I've really been liking it. Like, Blaziken's a ton of fun to use. Anyway, what I'm trying to do here is wear down the Registeel. He doesn't know what my last is, and if you guys don't know what my last is, it's a Mesprit. It sweeps his team, straight up, depending on what his last is, as long as Registeel is low. So my goal here is to keep Registeel low. I end up putting the Torterra to sleep, he predicts my Sludge Bomb, goes back out on the Registeel, and here's where all this shit goes down. I miss a seed, I just need to keep this Registeel below about 25%, so when it switches in it dies to a +2 Life Orb Psychic. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss 2 Leech Seeds, and then he's going to be able to T-Wave me, Ice Punch me, and then as I go, he switches an Arcanine, I predict that, go for Sludge Bomb, get paralyzed. That's a lot of fun. And at this point, I'm just all kinds of sad. So I'm just going to go for a Sludge Bomb. I deserve the poison, damn it. And I do end up getting the poison, which is a nice little bit of justice there. At this point, I'm just going to go for a Seed, predicting him to Morning Sun once again. Look at that, my Venusaur somehow made itself back up to full in about 3 turns. Why is this Mon so fucking bulky? I'm going to be able to substitute on it a little bit. Not my brightest play, I really should have just went right out of the Melodic there, but it doesn't really hurt me in the long run, because what it allows me to do is get off another Sludge Bomb. Psych! It allows me to at least wear down this Arcanine a lot more than it would be, and I didn't lose too much health for it. I didn't really need Venusaur, and depending on what his last is, obviously. If his last is like a banded Machamp or something weird, although that's OU in Gen 4, I don't even know what I'm saying. Whatever. I'm gonna surf, and we're back into this melodic thing. I'm gonna try to avoid it right away by going out in the Ambipom. Not quite sure what I was predicting, but I think I actually sent that out to die because I'm a really good player. And then depending on what his last was, I win with Mesprit. I at least do a significant amount of damage to his team with Mesprit. And as long as he doesn't freeze me or crit me with Ice Beam or some weird shit, I win with Mesprit. Unfortunately, his last is the only thing in the tier that can beat Mesprit faster. Well, okay, that's a very big overstatement. His last is something that can beat Mesprit. It's an Ambipom, which can obviously fake out return and kill it. So I'm forced to go out into my Melodic, and basically, in order for Mesprit to do stuff, I either need to predict the Ambipom to come in, or the Ambipom needs to be dead. If the Ambipom's dead, I'm pretty sure I sweep his team with Psychic, Ice Beam, T-Bolt. Until then, just bad things all around. So I get his Melodic to go back to sleep. I'm gonna try to switch Blaziken in, hoping he doesn't get Surf. Luckily, he gets a Rest, then an Ice Beam, so a nice little bit of hacks, but then he just slaps me in the face and does that. But then, he miscounts sleep turns, so I do end up getting off a little bit of damage on this Melodic. This whole series of plays is just Pokemon in a nutshell. What a shitfest of a game, really. He goes back to sleep, Marvel Scale activates, Superpower does nothing, gonna go to Mesprit, and at this point, I'm just gonna Psychic, predicting Ambipom, right? Oh, I crit his Mesprit. Good, bad? Well, the thing is about it is that at the very least, avoids a Melodic versus Melodic stall that would have lasted about 500 turns. He ends up revealing Aerial Ace, which I don't know what that's for. I don't know. I don't play the tier enough to know what that would be carried for. But at this point, he brings in Registeel, and I do end up getting 1 Surf. And then I Sleep Talk again. I do end up getting another Surf as he goes for an Iron Head. And then guess what? I'm gonna wake up, and get a motherfucking crit surf just to rub it in his face. I killed the Registeel, and suddenly all the good rolls are coming back to me. As at this point his team's weak, and I can just go to Mesprit. Beautiful. I can clean off the Torterra. It's gonna bring back an Ambipom and Melodic Walls, obviously. And the last two mons are just gonna kind of be stalled out by Melodic, which I have explained is a very, very common thing to happen in this tier. Mesprit. The other thing this RMT had when I stole it, to try to get into the tier, use it as a nice gateway into the tier. I don't even know if it's a good RMT. It looked kind of solid. It had a decent core of Melodic and Venusaur, which I assume is really hard to break through. It had a decent lead in Taunt Ambipom. I threw a few personal flares obviously on it. I changed the Blaziken set. I put Shadow Claw on Ambipom, and I put Taunt on there as well. Just in general, I made it my own. Put it that way. But I changed Blissey from the last slot, because I don't want to stall for that long. I want to be able to break stall myself as well. And what better stall breaker have I found than my new Gen 6 NU friend, which is Calm Mind Offensive Mesprit. Max Speed, Timid, Max Special Attack, Life Orb. And then in this gen, there's no Dazzling Gleam to worry about. There's no Spiritomb. I guess there is technically Spiritomb to worry about in this tier, but I haven't seen one yet. Regardless, Calm Mind Psychic, T-Bolt, Ice Beam hits a lot of stall cores really hard, and it sets up on a lot of them as well. Obviously there's no Psyshock for Chanseys, but Chanseys also don't have a Violite, so they're difficult for, it's difficult for them to stop me from setting up at least a couple of Calm Minds on them. Regardless, this is a really long live. I do actually have one more battle that I'm going to get to. It's a rather quick battle, which is just going to be showing off on Mesprit. And let's just get into that. I'm going to lead Ambipom once again, as Stone M&M actually leads with his own Ambipom. He's going to win the speed tie, which is upsetting to say the least. And I know, hey, what Wall's Ambipom? Melodic. Seeing that his Ambipom is Life Orb makes me really happy, especially because he brought in an Electabuzz right away. And whether he wants to predict my ground type or not, I don't really care. I want Rocks Up, because as long as I have Rocks Up, I'm pretty sure that Ambipom is as good as dead, because, I mean, it's an Ambipom. It's not only Life Orb, but it's also going to be taking Rocks damage. It's just all good news. And as soon as that Ambipom is dead, it means Melodic. Why do I keep calling Mesprit Melodic? It means Mesprit is going to potentially sweep through his team. And from what I've seen so far on his team, it looks like Mesprit would have a pretty easy time once Ambipom's gone. He's going to bring it back in once again, as I end up going for Substitute on my Venusaur. He's going to fake me out, break my sub, but once again, I just want damage off on this damn Ambipom, and that is a lot of damage. Thank you very much. As this is going to allow me to go back out on the Melodic, as he's going to end up just taunting me. That's fine. He's going to U-turn once again, down to 20%, 2 Life Orb hits. I'm going to be able to Surf as he goes out in the Wheezing. I assume he was predicting Toxic. I think that's what he said. Regardless, it's going to allow me the free switch into Donphan. Eat the Willow. I don't care about the Willow. The Stealth Rock is what I want, and the Stealth Rock is what I'm damn well getting. He actually brings in the Ambipom on this thing, which is fine by me. He's going to fake me out. Obviously, on the next turn, he's going to die to Life Orb, just in case he lives with 1% because of some weird Showdown number. I am going to click Rapid Spin because it's my only play, but unfortunately, he does die. But unfortunately, nothing. Fortunately, he's dead, and Electabuzz is going to be able to come in and kill me off. But hey, what do you say? Once this Electabuzz is scared out, obviously, into something I can actually set up on, such as Donphan, Mesprit is going to be free to sweep. Look at Donphan there. I wanted to figure out what his last was. Maybe force him out. Melodic would at least take Fire Blast plus superpower damage, but no, I just missed the Fire Blast. And I was pretty upset here. I'll be completely honest. But Donphan really can't touch me. Apparently his best play was going for Rapid Spin. Maybe he was predicting me to be some more of a defensive set, because I was on a defensive-ish team. I mean, all Gen 4 UU teams are defensive-ish, but whatevs. At this point, the game is over. Look at his team. Tell me what beats Mesprit. Absolutely nothing. Physically defensive Melodic. Get that shit out of here. It's just poetry in motion. At this point, yeah, Yeah, Gen 6 NU wants its Combine Setup Sweeper back. Yeah. Anyway, this has been a really long video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're kind of into getting into Gen 4 UU. I mean, as for tiers I could have picked to get into, I could not have picked a stallier tier. Tier list is down below. Like, it's just so stally. But there's definitely games such as this one where teams can be picked apart and weakened to the point where they can be swept through by something such as Combine Life of Mesprit within less than 30 turns. There are games that will take about 70 turns like you saw earlier, but just in general, 4th Gen's such a fun meta to play because there's no team preview, and basically all of these games, I think I mentioned I need to know what his last is, and when the hell was the last time you heard something as cool as that said? Like, it just brings such a strategy back into Mons that hasn't been here in so long. The fact that lead matchups are actually a thing, and predicting counter leads, and just it's really fun. Gen 4 is a great meta. Basically every tier is fun. If you haven't ever tried a Gen 4 meta, definitely go out there and try to throw together a team. Do a quick Google search for an RMT, and do what I did. Try to get into the tier. Anyway, let me know if you guys would be interested in more Gen 4 UU stuff. Like I said, it's definitely a tier I'll be playing regardless of whether you guys would be interested in seeing it or not, but I figured I'd throw some up on my channel, see what you guys think of it. The tier is pretty diversified for how defensive it is. I wouldn't call it so much full stall, although it's definitely possible to play full stall. I think it's more just really bulky offense. Think of it that way. You have wall breakers like Blaziken, you have mons like Ambipom that fit right in. Miss Magius is really strong. It's just you have stuff like Melodic and Venusaur which wall the whole tier and require a lot of support to break through. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, a rating would be much appreciated. And I hope to see you all next time. Take it easy, guys. Have a good day. See you later. Peace out.